Hello everyone, good evening and welcome back to the ESL Pro League Season 7 of the APAC region, and this is it for B.O.O.T Dreamscape really. This is their opportunity to seize the first qualifying spot for the SEA region for the APAC finals.
Yeah, and they've looked pretty good so far today. I mean, they got 3 maps so far without dropping a single one. Yes, some of the maps have been close, and that last one, it had just moments there for B.O.O.T Dreamscape that were a little bit shaky, but so far they've managed to hold strong and they've been able to win every single map, and I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how you get those maps done as long as you do get them done. And now it's the downhill slope for them. They've done the hard yards, they've gotten through Mirage, and they're on to Cache.
When you said downhill, I'm like, I wouldn't say that's the appropriate word to use, because as soon as you said downhill, there's a negative connotation.
I mean downhill in the case that it's supposed to be getting easier for them. They're going down now instead of going up. And yeah, look, moving on to Cache, they did look pretty impressive on Cache earlier on today. We know that it's a good map for them as well. They've been playing it for, well, even like basically since Zen Season 1 when we saw them there. So I do think that it's going to be a pretty good, I mean, I assume that it's going to be a pretty good result here for them. I think that it's going to be the 2-0.
I mean, we still have to see what Signature do have. I mean, they're going to be fighting desperately. After all, the team that does win the series qualifies for the APAC finals, and you can also come down and meet some of your favorite players, maybe some of your favorite personalities as well.
Maybe you can meet Kevin.
Yeah, I've heard actually Jordan Mays, he's giving out his own autograph. I mean, I think...
Yeah, look, I've got my pen right here.
Oh, look at that. He's already ready to give autographs, guys. So, and I'm fairly certain there's different tiers of tickets from what I've heard.
Yeah.
And the most basic one is that it's free entry. So you can actually just come down, have a good day of Counter-Strike action.
3 days. It's 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days. So
Friday,
not just a
Saturday,
single
Sunday.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
quite exciting. I mean, this is going to be like, I think, the first 3-day LAN that we've actually had, obviously with the exception of like the bigger things like IEM Sydney, which run for like a week, but normally we just get 1 day or maybe 2 days. But now this feels like it's like a little bit of a mini tournament in itself. So
yeah,
it's quite exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it. Like, this might be the most excited I've actually been for a LAN on Australian shores, with the exception of IEM Sydney.
I think as well,
in a long time.
Yeah, I think as well it's because it's like kind of with IEM Sydney, it was always like, oh, it's a massive global thing coming, that's awesome. But with the APAC one, it's more of a, it's kind of like a more homely kind of thing, you know? It's kind of the Aussie boys, you know, you're going to have some of the Aussie boys, we're going to get some of the Chinese guys down here, you know, MVP, PK, we're always big fans of them. And the Mongols also coming down as well, so it's always going to be great fun. And now 2 teams from SEA, it really feels like a good kind of get-together session.
Get together with the boys,
yeah, get together with the boys as opposed to like, you know, you're going to go see a rock concert. It's more of like a garage jam-out session.
Importantly for me, I think it's great sort of practice for a lot of these teams in the lead-up to IEM Sydney. Now, we don't know which teams are all going to be going. We do know MVP have secured their spot. Tyloo, they're not going to be at the Pro League finals, but Flash also, you know, they're going to be coming to these Pro League finals, so they're in with a shot. And then also all those ANZ teams that have yet to play their IEM Sydney qualifiers. It's like a week or a week and a half of boot camping that they can do prior to IEM Sydney against some other top competition. So it's just a really, really nice time for Counter-Strike in Australia. I think these next, this next month, everyone's going to be really getting in on it, and I hope everyone else watching is going to be getting in on it as well, because this is a really flourishing time, I feel.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, I think, for the guys or everyone supporting Australian and New Zealand Counter-Strike. And I think as well for everyone out there supporting not only like Oceanic Counter-Strike, SEA Counter-Strike and Chinese Counter-Strike, this seems to be the time at the moment. So everyone, if you jump on it at the moment, like, you know, there's an old saying, the faithful shall be rewarded.
Indeed. No better time than now if you haven't already, I suppose. And yeah, hope to see you guys there at the Pro League finals. If you are, make sure you say hi.
Yeah, make sure you get your selfie with Elfie.
Selfie with Elfie. Wow, that's a little bit too far gone now. But it's okay. We're into our second map here. B.O.O.T Dreamscape going to be starting off on the T side, and it's 1 map away for them for coming to IEM here. No, not IEM. Jeez, I was getting a little bit ahead of myself there. To coming to the APAC Season 7 finals. They might still go to IEM and just, you know, have a bit of a look, but who knows? For now, they're trying to qualify for Pro League APAC Season 7 finals, and they're doing a good job of it, that is for sure, making their way out onto the A-bomb side. It's a retake setup from Signature, so they've gotten in quite easily, but now how are they going to hold on to it? Good post plant for B.O.O.T, though. A couple of players into main.
Now, we're going to see the standard kind of retake A. You're going to see the smoke into A main, then the Molotov into quad, most likely to push some of the Ts off. Benkai being an absolute nuisance at the moment, just dwindling around, just making sure that more time is bought for the Ts to kind of hold on to the bomb site. Tommy's going to push through the smoke grenade, and he's going to try and find a few more CTs, but you can't take these guys out. He's going to find one in A main. He's going to take out Genius, but now come the CTs. But the time might have gone away for too long. Tommy's going to go down, but that might have bought critical time for Winter to come and peek out. He knows that the CT wants to be swinging at him. There's a player around the doors. It's swinging both ways. Cigarettes doesn't know what to do. He's going to have to bail it out of there. The bomb's going to go off, and everyone dies.
Everyone dies. Oh, that's so much. That's such a great time, isn't it, Kevin? I love it when everyone dies. Oh. Well, I mean, that's a bit grim, but it's okay. B.O.O.T Dreamscape come away with the pistol round.
It's only a simulation. We're not talking about real life here. So.
Yeah, it was a funny sort of door interaction there between the two, but at the end of the day, Winter didn't really have to do too much. He played it really well, and look, I've been pretty impressed by Winter coming into this roster. I know that he has played with them in the past and that kind of thing, but I think now that he's got this core spot, he's really starting to come out into his own and looking very, very impressive for those guys. So this is, it's, you know, maybe heralding a new sort of era of B.O.O.T Dreamscape. Hopefully, they're going to be a team to sort of deal with in the Asian scene, as opposed to someone that's kind of been swept by the wayside by some of the greats like Tyloo and MVP fairly easily. Seems as though we do have a pause coming out here. Not sure. I suppose it's a technical. Yeah, there it is. So someone's having some issues. Yeah, someone from B.O.O.T Dreamscape's dropped out.
That's impression.
Yep. And so, look, I mean, that's okay. Fair enough. Hasn't been too bad of a day, actually, as far as pauses are concerned. So I can deal with this.
Yeah, I mean, even if it turns into a 30-minute pause, I mean, I'm certain we've had worse before, Jordan. We can live through this. We can endure. We will rebuild from this.
We will rebuild. Look, I don't think we need to be rebuilding at this point, to be honest.
Right. Never forget the Melbourne earthquake. Never forget.
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
Oh, it was like Melbourne was struck by an earthquake of about like 4 on the Richter scale or something like that. Mm. And I think there was a picture that was circulating around social media, which is literally just a plastic lawn chair falling over and saying, we will rebuild.
Yeah, I think I have seen that one, to be honest. Well, it's okay for now.
So in comparison, you know, like a technical timeout, or like, you know, hopefully Impression can get his issues fixed soon. But, I mean, overall, the series has run pretty smoothly so far. Not too many pressing issues. I mean, Signature, this is their do or die time for this map. And going to be keen to see what they have on the CT side.
Yeah, definitely a tough time for them coming into this one. You know, like they've just gone down on their own map in a pretty closely fought match. You know, even though it was 16-12, it was closed out by B.O.O.T, you know, pretty well, but it was still fairly backwards and forwards. You know, it was anyone's game for quite a while, and for Signature to then lose that and now have to go up against B.O.O.T on cage, it's a really tough ask. Anyway, we'll see if they can manage to get it done. B.O.O.T starting off with the pistol, though. I mean, that's already a bit of a concern here for Signature. But they're going to force into this round. Reality, of course, is saving his money. He's got to go for the AWP as soon as possible for Signature. But B.O.O.T, I mean, Splashy's got, what, I don't even know what's going on there, just a Glock.
No, so it's Impression, so Impression might have an SMG and AK-47.
Oh, yeah, right. Yep,
it just hasn't updated just yet. I like this coming out from Signature, so you can try to contest it. You know, you've got to be starting on the right foot forward, which is trying to contest these angles. I mean, Splashkey, he's been pretty good with the AK-47.
Yep. So good start to the round for B.O.O.T again, and they've gotten control of mid as well. So they're just going to be collapsing in upon this bomb site. It's a real chokehold from them surrounding Signature, and the two players on that A-bomb side are not going to be having a particularly fun time, I don't think. In the meanwhile, Winter doing a bit of damage over to Genius over on the B side, but really all the action is going to be happening over at A. Not sure there's too much action though, really, as it is just B.O.O.T kind of walking their way onto the side and getting rid of those Signature guys.
How confident would you be? It's like you've cracked open the A bomb site, and then you've got a Galil, and you just walk into the B bomb site. It's like Impression's dink down, so he's going to run away now, but he was just lurking there, looking to get a pick with the Galil, and Genius has just gone, all right, he was still there the entire time. That shouldn't have happened. That wasn't according to my calculations.
Genius might get to hang on to this armor and CZ, which will help him a little bit in the next round, but realistically, not too exciting. Oh, yeah. Okay. Don't know if that's safe for Facebook, guys. Someone's going to have some egg on their face back in the production room. Tim?
I'm hungry now. I want egg.
I'm not sure if that should make you hungry, Kevin.
No, I'm just talking about you've said egg. If we exclude anything that may have not been for family-friendly content.
I don't even want to know what you're hungry for.
I want some GYG, I'm not going to lie.
All right. Anyway, let's get past that.
Yeah, let's get past the food. Let's get back into the action, the more meaty choice.
Oh, yes. B.O.O.T Dreamscape, not much for them to go up against here, and jeez, QQ's not having a fun time there. He's gone from the fire.
No, there's a Molotov there.
And right into the headshot.
goes Morley and goes like, it's all right, comrades, come in with me. And then Splashy goes, no.
No, not keen at all.
And he's still continuing in. He's like, maybe I can find more kills. Ooh. Nope, he goes down. So does Benkai with the saved CZ.
Yeah,
so
now that's a bit silly, I think, from B.O.O.T. You know, kind of going in one by one into the sides. Like Benkai doesn't need to be over there on B.
Yeah, it's a little bit loosey goosey, but
a bit loosey goosey, yeah. And that gives an AK over. No, it doesn't. It gives a UMP over.
Yeah, Winter retrieves the AK-47. He's going to pedal it back to probably Impression, who's got a Galil. Where are the T's going? Okay, so it looks like Impression's already going to be in the B-bomb site. Just going to be holding off, dropping some grenades. Watching the correct angles. So it was Winter.
Not too bad. Not too bad. Could have gotten away with another gun there, though, B.O.O.T., I reckon. Again, you know, not too big of a deal. They still got enough money to buy into it. Signature so as well. Galil out here for Impression is still going to be pretty useful, assuming he doesn't upgrade it, because look at that. Not a single person with head armor.
To be fair, though, like in terms of how they were playing around like that, like you do want to go aggressive because you want to get a lot of confidence. You kind of want to bully the CTs out of it and just make Signature feel horrible. Like that's something I love doing on the anti-ecos. Like when I knew they had USPs, I just run at them because I know that I could just outshoot them. And Hugo going to be looking to gain a little bit of A-main control. Little does he know there's one just at lockers. Benkai might be caught out, though, so he's dancing around. The fire has been held until eventually he's going to have to relinquish. Okay, so Splashy goes down as Benkai playing close instead.
Yeah, a lot of damage done over to B.O.O.T., though. Like, they've got some very low HP players. However, Benkai does manage to trade out Tommy. That puts us back at a 1 versus 2. In reality, well, he's got control of mid, but he doesn't have anything as far as either of those two sites goes. And B.O.O.T. is making their way into A. I wonder if Reality's even going to try and chance the retake here, given it's going to take him a little bit of time to actually get up to A. And
the problem is he doesn't know which bomb site it is, because he could think it's B because his player was killed in mid. Yeah, he goes, it's B. All right, it's not in B. I'm just going to save the AWP. Just too far to kind of go.
He's got a lot of utility there as well, you know, so there's quite a bit of money on him right now. I think that's fine. But it must sort of sting a little bit giving B.O.O.T. 4-0. You know, you started off poorly in the first map. You're starting off poorly in the second map. You're always fighting from behind. You can't feel good giving up a round like that. But at the end of the day, like that's what you've got to do, economically speaking. And B.O.O.T. come away with another one. And you know, they've got plenty of money here. Again, starting to build it up a little bit. Ooh, they do lose They lose Benkai. So, I mean, that's a little unfortunate, isn't it? But much of a muchness, I suppose.
It was 11 HP, and I think he just wanted to make sure that there's no way Reality kind of sneaks in there and just gets a kill for no reason whatsoever. So we're going to have another pause. Might be a tactical pause. I'm not certain about it.
We'll wait. We'll see what the little pop-up tells us.
Yeah. In 3, 2, 1.
No, you were close. Tactical timeout for Signature. So, a bit early. I will say that.
I think they want to kind of like nip the problem in the bud before it blossoms too much out of control. So it's not too bad of a time to kind of go, all right, let's look at what we want to do in this round of Reality's AWP. What do we want to force into this? Okay, if we don't want to force into this, what is our goal for the 6th round? Like when everyone has everything they want, when they've got, you know, the carbines, they've got the spreadables, they've got the grenades.
The spreadables? What's the spreadable?
Incendiary grenades. Spreadables.
Oh, I thought we were talking about like what you put on bread.
I don't think you want to be dropping a Molotov onto a bread. It'll become toast.
I'm pretty sure it'll become a bit more than toast, or a bit less than toast at that point. Signature have a little bit of an investment into this round. Some pistols, and Benkai just, again, very aggressive out into mid. He really seems to be wanting to get this game going really quickly, and I don't know if it's working out too well for B.O.O.T. Like, it kind of feels like Benkai and the rest of B.O.O.T. are on 2 different wavelengths, where Benkai wants to just play aggressive, go ham, and make those individual plays, and the rest of B.O.O.T's like, you know what, let's just set up default. But Impression's all the way into checkers as well, so...
No, but the problem is, Impression may be on the way in checkers, but Rolex is on boost right now, and he's in a prime position to kind of like get these players as they're rotating out of A main. But no, Tommy checks it. Good stuff from Tommy to make sure that all the sectors are clear. Flashbang, QQ Guide is not even allowed a single opportunity. Strafing P250, Winter covering the flank. No chances really for Signature. It's like they're trying to slip in at the little moments, but B.O.O.T, Dreamscape just covering each other's backs.
That's really good to see. That was something that they failed to do quite effectively on Cobblestone. when they were trying to sort of close that map out against Rekka, but seems like they've shored that up a little bit. You know, they're checking all the angles, they're making sure that they're safe where they're going, and it's working definitely better for B.O.O.T right now. 5-0. They're going to try and chase down Reality as well, or at least Impression is going to kind of have a bit of a look in there, but doesn't seem like Reality is particularly interested in trying to take a fight here.
He's just shifted his position after killing Winter from that squeaky position. So you can see Impression still thinks that he's inside squeaky. It's a very strong position to be in. And he's not going to consider quad because he's like, well, surely if he's quad, the CT would have peaked me by now. So really smart play coming out from Reality to keep this AWP up.
Yeah, he's going to get away with it as well. But B.O.O.T also get away with another round. 5-0 is where they are at.
Really smart play. I've been actually impressed by Reality. He's been playing it around smart, like utilizing his AWP to the best efficiency he can. Maybe it's time for him to start taking a few risks here alongside QQ God, because you can't let B.O.O.T Dreamscape get too many more rounds from here. You've got to be consolidating your economy on the back of these rounds that you're picking up, hopefully for Signature. But for B.O.O.T Dreamscape, it's just going to be another change in the tempo. Fast into the B bomb site. How is Reality going to be holding off on this? It just looks like a normal progression. There's a CT already isolated, but Reality is going to drop the smoke grenade. Where's the flashbang? He's going to miss the AWP shot, but Genius is here. Genius is going to find one. He needs to find more, but he's going to be sprayed through. Smoke grenade being bloomed in front of him. Flashbang's coming in from his teammates. Find more time.
Yeah, B.O.O.T, they're having trouble getting rid of Genius at this point. He's going to be mollied off, has to try and cross back into the side. Oh, he's gotten stuck. He still manages to survive somehow on 9 HP, so geez, he's been like Neo in the Matrix, dodging those bullets and going into slow-mo and everything, but he's gotten out of there, and that's the key takeaway. So a 1-0, definitely a better start to the round for Signature than what they've had so far. B.O.O.T Dreamscape time to go back to the drawing board. They've slowed things down a little bit. Holy moly, that grenade. Bit lucky, I suppose, from Cigarettes. He's just come away with one for free.
Yeah, but that's what you need a Signature right now. Sometimes you do need a free package. And I'd say Signature just needs to reset at the moment. You've noticed that one's gone mid. That's been Splash Key. Normally, he's not the lurker. He's going to be supported by someone trying to find a pick. So you got to reset right now. And that's what B.O.O.T Dreamscape are counting on. They're counting on the CTs and resetting. And then they're going to re-aggress on the B bomb site.
Well, it is still 3 versus 2 on the B side. So if B.O.O.T can get some clean entries.
Look at that utility being used from the CTs, though. They're not going to have much more after this. Just a few flashbangs. There's a counter flashbang from Genius. Good spray down, but Impression's the one to take down Benkai. He's going to go down. That's a clean round. That's what Signature needed.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate for B.O.O.T. Sort of everything kind of went wrong in that round that could have. But, you know, look, I mean, Signature come away with a round. I don't think B.O.O.T's going to be particularly disappointed by that. They're going to just sort of sweep that one away and be like, look, it just didn't go our way that time. Let's have another crack at it here. They've got a full buy through once more. Benkai's going to grab an AK off the ground somewhere. This is probably B.O.O.T's last buy if they don't win this round. But similarly, they really have a good opportunity of resetting the economy of Signature as well if they do pick this one up. Now, Signature probably can buy through next round if they do lose, but it's going to be a bit of a wishy-washy buy. So a fairly important round in the grand scheme of things.
We'd like to see B.O.O.T Dreamscape get Benkai up into the boost position a little bit more as well. He's been very strong there, and Genius actually just pushing through the edge of the smoke grenade. Looks like Signature made a B-set play. It's going to work out quite favorably. It gets them a lot of information early on, and Signature can kind of just relax and kind of re-establish this A main control because no one from B.O.O.T Dreamscape has reaggressed. They've been waiting for someone to peek out a highway. No one from Signature is doing that.
Winter's got himself quite far up into Squeaky, though. Splashkey already on the angle, so Reality needs to be very careful if he wants to go ahead and take a peek here. The flashbang does come in, and Splashkey will fall off, and Reality gets the information that there are players in a main here for Signature. And the rotation already starting to come across now. Signature's going to have quite a few players in this A site for B.O.O.T to deal with once they do inevitably push out. A lot of utility being expended by both sides right now. Another kill does go the way of Signature, but a trade back here from B.O.O.T. Similarly, though, Signature's managing to get it. And it's just trades across the board right now as B.O.O.T try to get their way in. They have managed to get their way in, indeed. And if Benkai would have gotten that kill, maybe there was something out of it. But now, 1 versus 3 for Tommy. They know his position. He's just planted the bomb. The molly comes in to force him off, and not a lot that he can do there. So QQ does close it out. Signature now 2 rounds in a row, and probably 3, because B.O.O.T won't be able to buy.
Yeah, even with the bomb plant, 2 rounds doesn't mean they get enough. I mean, Impression and Tommy have cash, but that's about it. And that was a really, really good hold coming out from Signature. Just utilizing the AWPs under lockdown. It was a little bit risky having 2 AWPs at such close proximity, but B.O.O.T Dreamscape are unable to punish it. Things need to start changing. They need to start taking, I think, a little bit more mid-control right now and kind of force Signature back and be hold down on the bomb sites and then kind of explode and pincer off. Because this one-dimensional doesn't seem like it's enough.
Definitely not. Reality's going to miss the shot there. I was surprised actually at that. And does get punished a little bit for it. Down to 34 HP. So he needs to be a little careful with his health.
Absolutely, and the T's this time have actually managed to take this control of mid for pretty free, actually. Genius, I think, wants to get Cigarettes close, but Impression has taken down the AWPer. The boost up, I think, has been spotted out by the T's, but Tommy still goes down to it regardless. They're going to try and re-engage at the mid position, might be able to catch one off guard. Splashkey has managed to make his way up highway.
Well, yeah, Winter does get Genius as well, so this is looking a little bit problematic for Signature, as B.O.O.T managing to find some picks across the board. Look at where Splashkey's got himself into. If these guys wait for him, you know, that B-bomb side is now really, really open. One player left there. There's 3 players for B.O.O.T. Surely they're going to be able to take down Rolex. He's got an M4A4, so yeah, he could spray them all down, and they are actually peeking him one by one. Impression gets up close. That's not really too great from B.O.O.T Dreamscape. It does sort of counteract things that they've been doing so far.
Beautiful stuff.
Done really, really well. He's just been dancing backwards and forwards around, finding those 1v1s, and B.O.O.T, you know, they just needed to overwhelm that guy on B, and that round was theirs.
Yeah, now Bankai. Yeah, Bankai's got the AWP, and he has to retrieve the bomb from the open with no utility to do so. QQ just going to be staying hidden. 22 seconds left. Bankai just making sure that the AWP can't be recovered. He spotted out one, doesn't know where the second one is. He's going to be above in heaven. QQ got the pistol out, going to be whipping it out to do the damage. So although B.O.O.T Dreamscape are able to get so much positioning, Rolex steps up now.
Yeah, definitely, but Signature sort of avoid disaster there by Rolex bailing them out, essentially. It's still a pretty expensive round, actually, there for the CTs, so not too bad for B.O.O.T. But really, I mean, I think B.O.O.T will actually be a bit disappointed with how that's turned out. They could have definitely come away with that round.
Yeah, very difficult to actually flush a CT out of that position, especially when they're just peeking one angle here, then checking the yellow line. Now, B.O.O.T Dreamscape are going to be lining up crisscross smoke grenades. Now, how's Reality going to deal with this? Okay, they were lining it up and they decided to not use it.
Just another slow progression up to the A-bomb site.
I think we saw this in the previous series, didn't we? 3 in Squeaky, 2 out mid. Seems familiar.
Perhaps.
And it was shut down last time by the boost of,
yeah. That was on sort of an eco force buy, though, from B.O.O.T Dreamscape. This is a full proper gun round. QQ missing a critical shot there. Does get taken down. An Impression. Nice one onto Cigarettes. This is not looking fun if you are a Signature supporter.
Yeah, and Bankai, this is a stage where Bankai has a decision to make, whether he wants to go hunting or to just save the AK-47, because the longer he gives the Signature boys to kind of move around and save the weapons, means that they can cut these 2 M4s and the AWP into the next round. If they can do so, I think they can still fight. Rolex has got a lot of cash, so does Genius, so they can drop weapons over.
But another round on the board for B.O.O.T, up to 6 and 3, so they've managed to break that very small drought that they did have. Benkai's going to look for some more frags here and see if he can find anyone, but obviously not going to happen. Would have been nice, of course, for B.O.O.T. But at the end of the day, the round still is what really matters. Signature will be buying through here. Let's see if it's double AWP again. Doesn't look like it's going to be, or they're all just throwing their guns around, so I'm not sure.
I think they're debating at the moment, but QQ God's going, nope, I want this to secondary AWP, so there it is. Double AWP still up, but B.O.O.T Dreamscape, I think they know that the key for this game at the moment is this mid control, so... Ooh, okay, QQ going to be stepping the Molotov for a little bit and catching a few grenades, but ultimately he still gets the positioning down. He's still established on that A-main angle. And Genius, as well as Reality, playing the same crossfire from Checkers as well as that B-box. Impression just going to be that person working the position.
Splashkey's getting pretty far forward here in main, but QQ is aware of it. Does get a good shot across to him, but through the box, so Splashkey does manage to survive, and Tommy wins a duel against Rolex. Another opening to start off the round here for B.O.O.T.
This is really difficult now for Genius to kind of play around this because he's got to be checking 2 different angles at the same time. Tommy's making so much noise, so he doesn't know how close he is to Vent. At the same time, impression can be slowly peaking up. I mean, Winter also just getting another pick there. Another one for B.O.O.T. Dreamscape. Now it's all to Genius to kind of shut this down, and he can. If he peeks out at the right time, he can find the bomb carrier. He's going to find one in impression. It's going to be tagged down, but no trade coming out from B.O.O.T. Dreamscape just yet. They're going to take their time to make sure they don't run into a stack situation again.
Yeah, and they're making the correct decision by heading towards the A site. Benkai is going to be hearing QQ now.
This is such a disgusting angle. My goodness. Like, imagine if you're a CT strafing out, like you're QQ, right? And you're strafing out into this.
Yeah. I would love to have seen that from his point of view, actually.
You'd just be going,
why
is he there?
Yeah. Well,
what is that?
Genius, for all the discussion that we had about him in that round, he really wasn't able to actually get too much done. You know, it never ended up actually being the case that B.O.O.T. decided to head in his direction. Obviously, impression did, but apart from that,
a very fine kind of window of opportunity for him to kind of go for that multi-spray down. If the bomb committed a little bit more, could have had that opportunity to do so. But after Genius got the kill and QQ was making a lot of noise, that was it. So he's still doing a bit of damage. Keeping the AK-47 in the hand, keeping his life.
Well, not for long, it seems like, as B.O.O.T. Oh, no, they decided to fall off. I thought they were just going to continue that push on forward. Splashkey, a little bit of over-eagerness. Does cost him his gun. Again, B.O.O.T. have a lot of money to play with, but they've actually lost like 4 or 5 guns here where they didn't necessarily need to throughout this half. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it might cost them 1 buy round. So, just the little things to be aware of. But in reality, things are going pretty peachy for B.O.O.T., so not really too worth dwelling on. And Tommy's decided to go for a Mac-10 here, which, for all intents and purposes, is not actually a bad buy with a very severe lack of head armor for Signature.
And I like what Signature are doing at the moment because I realize, all right, Tommy's coming out mid. All these players are coming out mid and getting control. So let's just start putting some more numbers here, especially in our force buy where we don't have as many members. But the problem, obviously, is if you stack 3 mid, nothing happens. If B.O.O.T. Dreams explode onto a different bomb site, then that's where it starts getting a little bit scary. But so far, no explosions happening.
A little bit scary, though, still for Signature. I mean, when you consider how much utility B.O.O.T. does still have, just a good flashbang is potentially going to be enough to allow Tommy into some close quarters, and that's very problematic for Signature if he can do that.
And they're gambling on the right bomb site as
well. And even Cigarettes, you know, like holding on to the A bomb site, essentially solo with a FAMAS. You know, I don't think I'd want to be particularly in that position.
QQ's here with a flashbang for information plays. Oh, dipping. He's thinking about it. He's waiting for the contact play from B.O.O.T. Dreamscape before he throws his flashbang. But Benkai goes down at mid on the boost.
Yeah, I think on the boost. So maybe that's going to be the go signal here for B.O.O.T. Tommy actually still lurking around on B. Oh, no, he's not actually lurking around
entered on A. He's
entered on A with the Mac-10. Jeez. And the guy actually on B is Impression right now. So A control has been established for B.O.O.T. And now we'll see if this B player is going to get caught off by Impression on the rotate. Should be. Indeed he is. It's a good play from B.O.O.T. Might be enough just to keep Signature from trying to retake this one, but
Impression's hearing this at the moment, but Splashkey, he's been dinked down. This is definitely winnable right now for Signature if they move quickly. But Impression's also hot on the heels right now. Now down to a 1-on-2. That shot from Tommy. And Reality is going to just bail one more time. And it's so unfortunate because I see Reality in this situation having to bail out time and time again, saving the AWP. And Signature just never have a really good buy behind this. And it's just, it's hard for Signature to like kind of fight against the economy of the T side when A, Tommy's coming out with a Mac-10 and killing someone.
See you, mate. That CT economy has actually been really difficult for Signature to control. And
because you save round and round again. Like you can't, at some stage you're going to be, you have to go like, all right,
I've just got to give it a crack, you know. But for B.O.O.T., like they've had some fairly expensive rounds, like round after round. But the thing is, they just keep winning. So it doesn't really matter. They've continued to buy that up to 8-3 now and just easily sweeping aside Signature here on Cache. So far. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the way that the half ends, and Reality makes a pretty big impact there by getting rid of Impression early on in the piece, but B.O.O.T. know now where that AWP is. They've decided that they're going to try and take control of mid as a result. Does allow an AK to go into the hands of Genius, however, he doesn't have any armor.
This is actually a really good play from Genius. He's getting far into Sunroom, and this allows the rest of Signature to actually rotate to the A bomb site instead. So this is definitely a winnable round right now. They've got the firepower in terms of the 50 cal deagles. They've still got the AWP in Reality as well. And there it is. That's a double shot, actually, because Splashkey goes down. Tommy is actually tagged down solo. Reality doing so much work, and now QQ's going to step up with a Deagle as well. It's all down to Winter on the 1-on-4 with the AK-47. He's trying to come close to the bomb site. Knows one's there. He's going to spray it down. Look at the turn rate on that one. I think he spotted out the shadow of one as well. He's going to be hearing this rotation coming in from A main as well. Surely he's hearing this. Apparently not. He's ran from all sides, and Signature, they win that on the back of Reality, getting those kills with the AWP, with the saved AWP, and that's why sometimes you do want to be saving the AWP.
Yep.
Because those are rounds that you can win on the back of that.
Really, really important round for Signature. It allows them to get a full buy through coming into here. It's, you know, essentially a free round on the board for them. So even if they do lose this, you know, it kind of balances out in a way. But B.O.O.T Dreamscape, they would not be particularly happy with how that has turned out. So still some work to do for them. It was looking really, really good. Now it's, I mean, it's still looking really, really good actually for B.O.O.T, but it's just another way into this for Signature.
Oh, Splash is going to be mollied off here. This is actually really good coming out from Signature. This is really smart. Splashkey is just penned in at the moment. Flashbang's flying his way, but somehow he still gets the kill. He gets both of them. What is that, Splashkey? You can't do that, Signature. Oh my goodness.
He didn't even take any damage.
He didn't even take anything. That's like that was a perfect play coming out from Signature.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean, he was sort of in between two Molotovs. He wasn't necessarily being put under too much pressure, avoids the flashbang. He knows that there's someone coming to push him. He's very prepared for it, and he's ready to meet them. I mean, to get two, in fact, is actually really, really impressive. At least one, though, would have been great for him. And, I mean, geez, that was just, again, another one of those little individual plays. And Splashkey, he's been having a great day so far. Even with just the rifle that time, you know, he was very good with the AWP, and now displaying that again.
Yeah, I mean, earlier on today I was saying a very kind of similar style play would be to compare him to his Gratisfaction. Very, very solid with the rifles. Obviously very good with the AWP as well. Known for those insane flicks. And that round, I thought Signature maybe like the only thing that they did wrong was maybe not going in fast enough on the back of the incendiary grenades. Maybe throwing a few more flashbangs earlier on. But regardless of what it is, that was insane play coming out from Splashkey.
Yep.
And they're still trying to hunt at the moment. Winter. Oh, a nice one tap coming out from Genius. But
so crisp.
Once again, it may be crisp, but it doesn't win rounds. Like, that's the thing. It doesn't come in at a time where they're winning rounds on the back of this, though.
Also gives away his position here, so Benkai with the molly can force him out, but seems like he's going to get away safely. Benkai's not too keen to continue chasing here. Ooh, playing with fire there a little bit. At the end of the day, though, B.O.O.T go up to 9-4. The money's enough, I think, for Signature to get a buy through here. Yeah, it is.
It'd be dire docs, though, if they do not win this round. And I thought this was good until QQ jumps, and I was like, well, yeah, that's not that good.
He didn't really need to jump, did he?
I think he wasn't expecting one there. It's very difficult to actually see beyond the flames as well. So Benkai thinking about going into mid. Now B-side aggression. Genius. Oh, he should be caught out by there, but Rolex is coming to back up his teammate. Now Winter's thinking about what to do. Winter is going to be mollied off. He's still going to be pushing forward on the angle, but it's a 1-for-1 trade, which is going to be favorable for Signature at the end of the day. Jeez. So explosive B action coming out from Signature, catching B.O.O.T Dreamscape off guard.
What a crazy few rounds we've just had here. QQ will get one and probably two there as well. So 5 up now for Signature. B.O.O.T, they're just, you know, like, it's just weird, really, how this is going. Like, one great round from B.O.O.T and then one great round from Signature, and then back to it and back to it and back to it. And inevitably, we find ourselves in a position now where B.O.O.T are actually, you know, not really able to buy into the final round of the half, and Signature certainly are. So maybe a 9-6 does come out still. I mean, that's good for B.O.O.T, I think, on the T side here of Cache. 9 is pretty respectable. But they started off so well that they would want to be getting up to something like 10 or 11.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely want probably that 11-4 scoreline, in all honesty, in the last couple of rounds. But Signature have earned these 5 rounds. I mean, only one round where it was like a little bit shaky from B.O.O.T, which is where they lose against Eagles in that single AWP. But Reality then steps up in that position and gets all those kills.
Yep, few pretty big individual plays out from some Signature players. QQ gets dropped low by, I think that was Benkai's Molotov.
Yeah. They don't know that the T's actually aren't out just yet. So Benkai's still alive. He's still looking to be a bit of a nuisance. Genius is going to take some damage as well. Now the smoke grenade comes across, and QQ just caught out of position. Taking damage from the Molotov early means Splashkey has a very easy job at just patching him. And, oh my goodness, how's Benkai in this position? Please don't take that same position again. Rolex does manage to get the trade, but the bomb has gone down the A-bomb side.
Yeah, I don't even know how he managed to get there, but in the end, B.O.O.T Dreamscape have found themselves in a pretty good spot now. 9-5. Bomb down. Post plant with the player advantage. Despite not having the guns there, they've got the crossfires. In reality, well, that was going to be a tough shot to hit, and Splashky does punish him for not managing to close that kill out. 10 up for B.O.O.T Dreamscape, so at least they sort of avert the 9-6, which is reasonable for B.O.O.T. I think 10 is enough for them to really be able to close this map out, to be honest, Kev.
Yeah, absolutely. Signature had a couple of good rounds there, which B.O.O.T Dreamscape can concede. 10-5 is a good stepping stone forward, especially going onto your own CT side. Good stuff coming out from Splashky. Like, once again, it's just B.O.O.T Dreamscape have these players that can make the impact and Signature. We've seen Reality have a few good rounds. We've seen Rolex have that round as well. But it's just not enough, unfortunately. We need to see more of these explosive rounds. Maybe back on the T side, we saw really good stuff coming out from Genius on the T side of Mirage. Maybe he can continue this on the T side of Cage. It does lend to those strong AK-47 aimers.
It's going to be a tough uphill battle, really, for Signature, though, regardless. So, it needs to be the pistol. You know, I mean, like, I feel like that's just every caster ever says, oh, this pistol's going to be important.
Every single pistol is important.
Every single pistol is important. So, that's step one for Signature. You know, if they lose the pistol, I think you can probably write the map off. You know, getting 8 rounds in a row, or 8 rounds to secure at least an even scoreline, and then more to try and come back into the map, assuming, you know, the pistol and the subsequent ecos go the way of B.O.O.T. But I feel like that's a bit too far beyond them, you know? And even if they do get the pistol, they're still down 2 rounds. This is the thing we were discussing there on Mirage, where it's like, the difference between a 9-6 and a 10-5 is, if you take the pistol, you're still 2 rounds behind. So you've still got more work to do to even equalize.
Yeah. It's like, it doesn't seem like a lot, but Counter-Strike is not a game about a lot. Sometimes it is just that single little thing. It's milliseconds of plays, you know, that little $100 that means the difference between a flashbang and no flashbang. It's a beautiful game of butterfly effect.
Yeah, definitely. And so far that's favoring B.O.O.T right now. Just a single smoke out for them. For Signature, they've also got the single utility player, everyone else with armor, and aggression into A main from Tommy. He spots quite a few players out. That's good early info for B.O.O.T.
I don't like how B.O.O.T play this A bomb site afterwards, though, because it's actually so risky to have only 2 players on the A bomb site. If you don't land your shots like Tommy is at the moment, then it's like so risky. He's taking so much damage from the Molotov, but how is he still getting more kills? So many headshots going over to Tommy.
He's a god. He's a god. He's just absolutely destroyed Signature there, and it was a little bit risky, and it definitely could have gone the way of Signature, but for some very nice shooting from Tommy, and now QQ, 1 versus 3, he's got 7 HP. Well, I do tend to count people out on those ecos, and I think that would have been a correct assumption of the situation there. 11-5 now for B.O.O.T, and this is the worst scenario for Signature that was possible.
Yeah, they have to force up into this. There's no money. They have to at least try something. I'm going to go back to the point, because even though Tommy makes that work out, obviously with an amazing 3K on the pistol, I think the more conventional theory that people are pushing to these days is that if you want to be playing this A site hold, you need to kind of play 3 people there. And the theory for that is because if you only have 2, it's just not enough firepower to kind of contain this bust out. Obviously, if you get a lot of multi-frags, that's good. You can obviously contain it, but you can't always rely on the multi-frags. Already off to a good start, though, for B.O.O.T Dreamscape as they get 2 kills on the A bomb site. Oh, I think Winter on the B bomb site.
Well, much of a muchness, really. Their kills for B.O.O.T, that's all that matters at this point, I think. Signature investing a little bit into that round. They didn't really get the bomb down last, so fair enough, but they haven't done anything with this pistol and armor so far, and it's been pretty easy going, pretty smooth sailing, really, for B.O.O.T. Incendiary's going to come down just to, again, waste a little bit more of Signature's time, keep them at bay. B.O.O.T are feeling really comfortable at this, and in the meanwhile, Benkai's just rotating around the back. I mean, this could not be going any better, really, for B.O.O.T, could it?
Yeah, and it's just like, QQ's like, oh my goodness. All right, so now we're both boxed in A main. What do we do here? All right, better hope I can get a kill with the CZ. I mean, Genius does manage to find a pick onto Impression. Benkai just gives them a nice cuddle with the MP9. Genius can't get the second one. Just too many CTs. So they lose Benkai and Impression. Not going to be upsetty spaghetti about that.
No, not really a big deal. Signature, this is going to have to be pretty much a full eco out from them. So B.O.O.T, they're going to just decide what they want to go for here. Do they want to fully invest in the M4s, take them through next round, or maybe a couple of SMGs? Yeah, 2 MP9s out for them.
Yeah, just Glocks here. And a P250 on Genius. There should be a pretty easy cleanup on the back of these SMGs. Look how aggressive these guys are going on the B-bomb side. Winter as well as Splashkey looking to get the picks working in their favor. There is a single flashbang for QQ God. And there is going to be the flashbang, but it's not going to catch anyone. Winter's just in sunroom. Oh, Splashkey does go down, so Rolex picks him off.
Oh, Winter's playing this one perfectly, though. Just finding a way to get a 1v1 every single time. He's down to 4 bullets, only 2 now. That's a little unfortunate.
Oh, he's going out for the knife!
Oh, no.
Yes, QQ!
Yeah.
You show him!
That was really nicely played from QQ in the end there, but Winter, he just ran out of bullets at the wrong time. And in the end, it didn't even matter because it's still going to be around for B.O.O.T.
Is it? So QQ can make this really expensive right now.
He could. But Benkai's watching as QQ comes slowly through the smoke. 13-5 for B.O.O.T. First buy comes out for Signature, though, of this half.
Well, they have to make an impact with it. First buy have to make an impact, otherwise it could be just over and done for immediately.
Indeed. Orp's in the hands of reality. He was going all right in the last half, but now I think the job's a bit more difficult on T side, particularly given there's a double AWP to go up against as well. So that AWP v AWP battle, he's going to have to win it a couple of times.
And look at this. Benkai just goes, he wants to assert dominance the only way he knows, and that is to click on heads and just destroy people. This is such a strong mid-hold, but B.O.O.T. Dreamscape do need to be aware that there are a few members over on the A bomb site.
Yeah, Benkai definitely a scary, scary prospect right now for Signature. He's been quite aggressive throughout this entire map, really. Really does get one, though, onto Tommy, and Impression might be needing to be a bit careful here over towards A, because those smokes dissipating fairly quickly, and means he has to fall back to Truck. But Signature are starting to work their way around the map right now. The only real linchpin is going to be Benkai here, and he has actually managed to get one. Impression also gets one on the site, but is it going to be enough to deny the bomb plant? Still, the rotation has yet to come for Signature, and look at Rolex just charging in. I wonder if Splashkey's heard that.
I think he has. May have spotted out also a glimpse of him. Splashkey's watching the correct angle. The bomb, though, is coming to the B bomb site. Rolex has a single flashbang. Cigarette's also the smoke grenade to get onto Tree. There's the smoke grenade. He's just going to shoulder spot the corner. Knows now the AWPer is there. Splashkey trying to time the shot. Not going to work out. Benkai also taking damage at the same time amid with an engagement with QQ. But the bomb makes its way onto the B bomb site. Well played from Signature. Now 3-3 retake. They need to play this one very nicely as well.
Smoke and a flash available, though, for Splashkey, so let's see what he can do to get his team in there. The flashbang does come out, and they start to make their way in the side. Only a 1-for-2 trade. Splashkey doing well, though. He's found 2 kills already with that AWP. Decides to trade out for another AWP. This one's prettier, but it's not going to land the shot anyway. Cigarettes does clutch the round out for Signature. 13-6. Keeping them in there.
You would give anything for Splashkey to actually land that shot, because this guy's actually been in ridiculous form. But Cigarettes is going to breathe a sigh of relief, and a much needed round for Signature. They need to continue this streak, get some money in the coffers to make sure that if B.O.O.T. Dreamscape do manage to get around, they can immediately reset them with AK-47s and a full belt of utility. Some of the risks actually in that round for Signature paying off. Rolex is charging straight through the smoke. If you got picked off, that would have been like, ooh, that's scary.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to think right now for Signature, they need to take a few risks because they're 13-6 down. You know, you're not going to get that many rounds, I don't think, just playing standard unless B.O.O.T. sort of lets things go a little bit. And B.O.O.T. know that they're only 3 rounds away from coming.
I was about to say, like, if there was a team that has let a lot of things slide so far in these couple of series, it has been B.O.O.T. Dreamscape, but they've been able to come back from it. Well, to find a Signature can also just dig deep at this stage and try to eke out maybe this map victory. A few rounds here, then you really genuinely believe in yourself, and then maybe this map victory. Impression's having this CZ deal, but it's not going to be either players having a good time. It's actually now the rest of the people coming in from A main that's going to be having a good time. QQ now with 3 kills. Splashkey by himself, and this round should be over and done for. 7-13. Very similar scorelines to our previous series on Cobblestone.
13-7. Well, not going to be enough to afford a buy through for B.O.O.T. again. So it'll be double eco, sort of double pistol armor buy at least. That seems to be the way to go nowadays. Signature have a couple of grenades to deal with this round. Looks like it's going to be a grenade stack out from B.O.O.T.
Yeah, straight into mid by looks of it. There's only one here. Splashkey's dead.
Oh my goodness. QQ just gets absolutely demolished. So B.O.O.T will be happy with that, but
they can go straight into base bomb site. They're not going to be too perturbed about it.
Yeah, exactly. So unless Winter gets a nice one through the smoke here, don't think there's going to be too many problems for Signature. But Tommy's got the AK from mid, so I wonder if B.O.O.T decide to try and retake this. They've got a molly, or incendiary, and a flash.
Might as well go for it at this stage. They're ahead enough where they can kind of go, look, we don't need to save this AK-47. We can buy in the next round. Let's just wait for a little bit longer. Single flashbang, but there's a lot of flashbangs for the T's to use. That's a perfect flashbang as well. Genius going to find only one. It's going to be traded out immediately. Tommy finds two, though, keeping this one pretty costly before Cigarettes and Reality team up to close up the round.
Yeah, not too bad of an attempt from B.O.O.T. I mean, Tommy got a couple of kills with the AK, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, obviously, weren't expecting that to necessarily work out too well for them. The full buy, though, going to come through now for B.O.O.T. Are they going to go for an AWP or double? Just a single with Splashkey. Fair enough, in my opinion. And
yeah, sometimes a double AWP on Cache isn't actually that great because the A site is very prone to being mollied off and whatnot. QQ got straight through into mid. No one spotted this. Don't know if Benkai heard it. Okay, looks like Splashkey. He's watching the angle. He wants more. He doesn't care if there's smoke grenades and HEs flying his way.
No, certainly not. He just wants to get this one over and done with. Frolix has got himself quite deep in towards the B bomb site, but as of yet, he's not really going to be able to get anything out of that position past info and past map control.
Good flashbang into checkers and molly into back checkers as well.
Winter's going to need to sort of sit tight right now because he's on his own on that B site. Doesn't really know what's going on. Needs his teammate to come across and help him out, but this could be the pick that they wanted, and it is.
Somehow Splashkey still gets the shot off first, but Rollick should go down here on the back of a nice flashbang play. Winter just going to be dancing around as long as he can. Needs to call for the rotation. Now Tommy on the same angle as him. Benkai's going to go down. Tommy goes down, but they know that there's one more on bomb site. Winter can't get the spray down. Genius. What a play coming out from him. 3 kills with the AK-47. Now Impression are 1 and 2.
Yeah, definitely a tough one here for Impression, but certainly doable. Is he going to go for that AK? Perhaps designs the better of it. Doesn't want to make the noise. And, oh, just the timing a little bit too slow for him. This grenade might be enough to clean it up, though. Not quite. Down to 21 HP is Reality. He doesn't know there's a player on the side. And Genius gets the kill from headshot. Another round on the board for Signature. And, well, B.O.O.T. once more struggling to close these maps out. It's not a dire situation just yet, but it can very easily become that.
Yeah, and that's really just Genius stepping up. We were talking about they needed someone, and Signature, it seems like Genius has been the consistent one on the T side to be landing these critical hits, really. So another eco out. Another round where Signature should be able to pick up theoretically. I say theoretically because we know that anything's possible, especially with Tommy just picking up a kill like that with the CZ and now a AK, if he can retrieve it.
I think it might be up the top of the boost, which is probably why Benkai's come forward here.
That's even more scary, because you put a CT on a boost, it's like...
Oh, no, it's stuck in the... Yeah, no, that's not retrievable.
Yep. Oh, especially after that molly. Goodbye.
Oh,
quick, boost him up! Jump! Oh, no, he
Tommy
goes
just had
down.
to walk forward there, but can he make amends for it? I don't think so. He's not going to get the reload across. Oh, actually, did he get cigarettes? So... Well, I mean, that certainly could have gone a little bit better for B.O.O.T, couldn't it? I mean, everything seemed to work against them.
I thought they would have gone straight up and boost instead of trying that little cheeky, like, under the boost kind of boost.
Well, they wanted the AK, so it was stuck. They were trying to retrieve the AK. At the end, though, Signature come away with a round, which was the expected result.
3 rounds to the difference now.
Buy, though, out for boost. Boost? Boot. Maybe we should just start calling them boost. Yeah, look, you can see the AK stuck in there. That's what Benkai was trying to get.
And then Molly comes in and just ruins their day. And Tommy's like, hey, bro, do you mind ducking? Oh, sorry, dude, a little bit too late.
Tommy could have literally just walked forward.
He can't. There's nothing else to walk. Like, you walk forward, he walks forward to his own death because there's an AK and an AWP watching that angle. So there's nowhere for them to go. They were boxed in.
They were. At the end, though, doesn't really matter too much. It was just a pistol for B.O.O.T. So this is the important one. Another gun round coming out and another opportunity for Signature to continue to peg their way back into this, but already the start, not what they would have wanted.
I like what Signature do at the squeaky position. They get 2 in there to try to get Reality a pick on either the highway or the catwalk position. This time around doesn't work out though. Benkai, or I think it was Winter, I don't remember who was playing that position, was just carefully spotting it, not exposing too much of himself just to make sure the door was closed. And it's going to be an A-side execute, and Tommy is now in a world of hurt. Molly's everywhere. He's going to be flashed off, and he's going to get the dink on one. Can't get any more. Reality's now taking the truck wall angle. This is really nice coming out from Signature, fast out on the A-bomb site. Yep. More kills in the hands of Genius, who eventually does go down to the spray of Winter.
Yeah, Winter again, another one of those players here for B.O.O.T. that's been really impressive so far today, but this is a difficult retake now for B.O.O.T. They've got one flashbang to get them in. Their flash is going to really keep impression at bay, and he walks right into the crosshair of Reality. Winter is able to trade out cigarettes, and so it's a 2-for-1 now, actually. Splashkey finds QQ, and they know the position of Reality. This is really tough for him now. Missing a critical shot, he's going to be overwhelmed, and the retake will come across for B.O.O.T. Dreamscape. The Signature, they got themselves into that side, but they just couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, just Winter and Splashkey teaming up. And once again, Winter in this A-bomb site retake, he's an absolute god.
Yep.
He's been able to consistently get 2 or 3 kills and just making the positions work. And Reality's in a very, very strong position, but eventually, once your position is identified, you can't do anything.
Once you don't have anyone to crossfire with as well, like it's just, he's stuck behind Fork on his own. It's, what are you going to do, really? Anyway. Still enough money for Signature to buy in here, so it's not all said and done just yet. B.O.O.T. have gotten one, but they still need a couple more.
And that's an off angle being played by the AWP as well, so impression may be boosted up near quad. Benkai just going to be jump spotting to see if he can find the head of Reality, who's got the AWP once again. But the T's have this mid... Nope, they don't have mid-control just yet. I thought Cigarettes may have walked out. So a very, very slow round in comparison to the previous one, where Signature just busted out and just managed to get the A-site control. It's much more turtle-paced.
Well, Cigarettes has got control of Ven.
Surely this has been identified. Splashkey needs to be aware that there could be a few players in Vent. Impression taking so much damage. Could have been a nade, could have been anything, really. He's got no armor. Splashkey as well as Winter work to do as Reality picks off Impression, trying to regain control of Highway. Now all the T's coming back into B. But Winter's inside Sunroom, and you can never count him out when he's in the Sunroom. No. We've seen him multi-frag before. Splashkey, his attention diverted. He spots out one. Rolex, great shot into Winter. Splashkey's going to go down. No way he can get out, surely. He's flashed off. AK Bullets needs to come forward. They almost line up for him, but he goes down. And now B.O.O.T. Dreamscape need to save.
That was a game of seconds. I mean, look, like Splashkey missing that shot onto the player running in B halls. Maybe that saves Winter. Maybe he can do something. Maybe Splashkey gets out, and maybe they line up for him. He gets 2 on the collateral or something like that. But no, Signature managed to secure it. 14-11 is where we're going to be at. Benkai is just looking for exits at this point. And then they've still got a game on our hands, Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Signature don't want to give up that opportunity to come to Sydney.
Doing a lot of good work so far. QQ just going to be looking to get his way out into B main. Benkai holding his fire, but he's going to find a bit of damage. Needs to be wary of truck now, because that's where Cigarettes is. Goes, you want to go aggressive on my teammates? Well, here's an AK for you. So another double eco coming out for B.O.O.T. Dreamscape, and this feels very reminiscent of Cobblestone, where Signature has stepped up their game, and B.O.O.T. Dreamscape just trying something a little bit different and not recognizing that they've lost control of certain positions.
Yep.
Still trying to play aggressive around something they shouldn't be.
Definitely. I mean, B.O.O.T., I've said it 3 times today, they really have trouble closing maps out, it seems. So, look, they've still got a lot to play with. They've still got 3 rounds plus, you know, whatever. If Signature end up getting back up to there, there's still a couple more. So it's not hugely dire yet for B.O.O.T., but they're allowing Signature to get back into this. It eventually, one of these teams is going to take the opportunity and run away with it. That's what Tai Lu did against them.
Yeah,
they lost the first map, and then they almost lost the second map, but they won it. And then the third map was just a whitewash.
Oh, that's a sharp shot from Reality. And this should be a pretty routine cleanup as the rest of the CT is trying to regain some map control. It's not going to work out. They're going to be coming fast up Highway right now. Benkai only with a P2K, I think it was, or a P250. Doesn't matter. Not enough. And Splashkey going to be looking for an opportunity with the AWP. Not going to find it, though.
But if he can save the AWP, I mean,
that would be nice. His scope's been heard by Cigarettes, though, at this stage, I think. So,
I'm not sure.
Regardless of what it is, though, it's going to be very difficult for him to kind of hold on to the AWP. Here comes a flashbang, and they're both flashed. Cigarettes will clean up, though. He's out of it a little bit quicker.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, B.O.O.T Dreamscape, they're on the eco, and Signature are 2 rounds away from drawing it apiece, 4 rounds from winning Cache.
Yeah, yeah. What a crazy roller coaster ride this map has been. Sort of thought B.O.O.T was going to close it out easily, and it looked like they were going to. But as ever, that second half is just not what they want it to be, really.
No, more heart attacks coming out from B.O.O.T Dreamscape. More HE stacks, but this time around there's no one on the lower floor. It's just going to be on the upper floor instead. A lot of grenades being flung back and forth. Oh, Expression's just blinded by. I don't know if that's a friendly grenade or if that's an enemy grenade. Genius, easiest one tap of his life. He's looking for more. Should be able to find more as well. There's one inside the smoke. That's what I would call a one tap, by the way. He called it a one tap.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, look.
Nothing round.
Pretty easy round there. Genius has got 4 kills so far. Splashkey's just, I don't even know what he's doing. Trying to learn how to like wash the wall or something. It's like what motion would you use to wash the wall? Circular. Counterclockwise.
I think you're being a little bit optimistic there.
Anyway, 14-13. Buy will come through here for B.O.O.T, but not really enough money to afford an AWP. Rifles across the board. And this is where Signature, you know, if they can win this round, B.O.O.T's going to be put in that position where they have to think, do we want to buy or do we want to play for OT, or what have we got to do? I mean, for Signature, they're going to buy out the half.
And Signature are doing something different. They're going into the B-bomb site this time. Normally, we've seen them play default and whatnot, but now, in a very, very tense round, they're actually getting aggressive towards B main instead.
Double stack from B.O.O.T here, so they're going to go and put a player into Vent. Winter's been very impactful from that position in the past. It looks like it is going to be the entry into the B site from Signature. The flashbangs do come in. Splashkey just holding on to the angle, watching the smoke, but he goes down to Genius. I don't even know how, but I guess the traces. And Winter is stuck in this little corner now, and he's going to be destroyed. What is that?
I have no idea. Genius gets 2 kills through smoke grenade, and this is the B bomb site now actively being engaged on from all angles, and there it is. 2 more kills. B.O.O.T Dreamscape. They're going to be tying at 14 all apiece.
Well, well, well. Tommy's going to save his M4 here.
It doesn't matter if you save it at this stage. I mean, what are you going to pray for at the stage if you boot Dreamscape? All right, Benkai, can you just whip out the CZ and get 3 kills again? Or Splashkey, you can get an ace with nothing?
Yeah, well, that's the reality of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, B.O.O.T don't really have anyone to blame but themselves. They've had so many rounds here to play with, to close this map out. But now it's sort of turned on its head, and Signature are the ones that are actually in a position to actually really win this map now and put us through to map 3. And that's where B.O.O.T needs to start to get a bit worried. QQ's going to chase down, but Tommy will grab him.
Yeah, no one's in position to kind of get this kill before time goes out, so...
Tommy doesn't know that, but he's going to get the AK and get out of there okay. Now, what do you do as B.O.O.T here? Do you buy and you try and go for the win, you know, fully invest into this round, or do you save? Like, if you save here, you get a perfect buy next round.
Well, it's a tactical pause coming out from B.O.O.T Dreamscape, most likely at this stage, so... like, at this point... so hard to tell, because you will have a great buy, but I don't think the buy has been the issue. It's just literally just been a failure of crossfires, as well as once again that default hold. I mean, there's not much you can do when Genius is dropping a 33 kills and like just getting you through smoke. Like, what do you do at that stage? Just getting headshots through smoke, pre-firing corners that, like, I wouldn't be pre-firing them if, I'll put it that way. Like, I'd hold the angle and wait. So Genius is, like, once again, just on the T side, just exploded and kind of won this half for Signature.
On another level. Well, it's not won yet. Up at 14-14, they've done a good job to get to this point, but B.O.O.T's grasped victory from the jaws of defeat before, and that was on Cobblestone. Can they do it again here?
I just don't think they can. I don't think they can do it this time, and the way that they've actually orientated their buy, it looks like they want to try to get it into overtime.
Potentially. But with Tommy saving that AK through, there's that thought in the back of your mind, like, what if we can close it out here and make it 16-14? I don't know if it's worth the risk.
I don't think it's worth the risk at this stage. Just pistol and armor. Like, don't do anything too unique. Like, you don't need to do anything funky, because you've like, Signature just slowly take map control, and then they get the kills working in their favor. You don't need to be peeking into the corridors of reality, who's been hitting some good AWP shots. You just need to try to figure out how to contain Genius at this stage, because if you push over Genius, then maybe the rest of Signature goes down.
Yeah, definitely.
How many rounds has Genius gotten like 2 or 3 kills in?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's on 33 kills right now, so... You do the math, Kev. I'm not very good at it. But right now, Impression and Benkai have decided to invest into it. Winter and Splashkey have got a Deagle each as well. So there's at least something to play with in this round for B.O.O.T. Benkai's going to have to fall off the angle. The molly is there. Signature again looking to control mid. But where's Tommy? up on A.
Yep, so Tommy's going to be on A. They're going to try and retake that A main control. So a lot of damage being done over to Rolex. But Genius, he's in a good position to kind of go a little bit further right now. Impression doesn't need to be pushing any further. You can kind of just relinquish it. You go, all right, one's on boost. We can just fall back and play it slow right now. We've got A main control. We can play around this. We've still got an AK. We've got time in our hands.
Yep, definitely. Signature making the right moves, though. Starting to get control of mid. Benkai is looking like he wants to peek, but definitely would have been, I think, his undoing if he had done that. Now he's going to try and cross with the aid of that smoke. So that's a little bit interesting if someone decides to go up highway or something like that. But perhaps into the B site is where Signature will go. They, I think, have identified that the AK is over at A. And they're going to try and hit that weaker site. That's a great shot onto Splashkey from Cigarettes. And now Winter with the Deagle. Well, he's done it before, but can he do it again? Benkai there to crossfire. The smokes, though, do go down, and he's just going to spam through, but he doesn't really want to do that with a CZ. Benkai does get dropped. Winter, however, on the site, holding strong, now has an AK. And this could really be something for B.O.O.T, or perhaps not, as Genius will trade him out. Another 2 kills for Genius. It's just Impression. He's going to have to throw away this round, and 15 up on the board now for Signature. B.O.O.T, they have to push it through to overtime, otherwise we're going to map 3.
Yeah, and Signature is just definitely poised to take down this map. Really good composure to kind of just bring it back into this point in time. And obviously, once again, Genius, 35 kills. Like, I don't know what the headshot rating of this guy is, but I swear every single kill I've seen so far has been a headshot. Like, that's just ridiculous in terms of how on point he's been in this entire series. Like, he's definitely been putting Signature on his shoulders. But this is it. This is do or die for both of B.O.O.T Dreamscape. I mean, not die for Signature, but to allow this to bleed back into overtime would be a bit of a disappointment for them at this stage, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's still a possibility that B.O.O.T can come back from here and end up winning in the overtime if they get there. But for Signature, look, they really want to push this one through to map 3. They had a difficulty trying to get back into map 1, and it's been a difficult slog to get back into map number 2, but now they're here. Now it's their opportunity to come up big, and all they have to do is now secure one more map, and then it's potentially the home stretch for them on the 3rd map. For now, though, they're just holding up, getting ready to go into mid, and that could have been dangerous for Cigarettes, but he gets away with it.
Yeah, Winter needs to bail out of there right now as well. So good Molotov. This is just a standard progression play they've been using this entire game. And now Winter's still there dueling. I don't know what to make of that. He should be bailing out of here right now. Where's the Molotovs coming out?
Look at where the bomb is, Kev. It's right in mid. No one can get that from Signature. But then B.O.O.T decide to take 2 fairly risky peeks, I've got to be honest, and throw away a couple of their lives. That's the bomb now in the hands of Signature. And B.O.O.T might have just thrown away another opportunity to kind of get themselves into overtime here. But Splashkey with the AWP, he's been solid. He's stuck in a pretty precarious position. Hits 2 very nice shots. The 3rd, though, is going to go the way of QQ. It's a 2v1, however. Tommy very quick in by the Molotov. And that's it. It's overtime. B.O.O.T have just snuck by the skin of their teeth
once
into
again,
this 30th round.
Once again, Splashkey stepping up for his team. Like, Winter did really well. Like, I was thinking, once you're in vent, like, once you've been identified, like, Signature needs to throw Molotovs there to force him out, but Winter just stays there. He doesn't care because he knows Splashkey is watching that B main angle. So B.O.O.T Dreamscape, this is actually a really good opportunity for them now to actually win this entire game, because the struggle for them mainly has been their economy on their CT side.
But in saying that, it's still an opportunity for Signature. It's anyone's game at this point. Both teams, I think, are going to be feeling a little bit disappointed to actually have had it go through to overtime, because they had so many rounds that they could have closed it out in there, and the opportunities were certainly ripe for them, but they didn't grasp it. And then for Signature, they did all the hard work, but they just couldn't quite get over the line at the end.
Like, it was just like the things where normally you'd see Signature. Like, this is where the game plan kind of falls out. When they can get their Molotovs, when they can get in their position, it's really good. They know exactly what they want to do, but as soon as they lose one of the pins in their plan, so to speak, it all comes unraveled. And we saw in that round, normally their B-side hold is like magnificent. You got one in vent dropping a Molotov at the back of Checkers. Like, Splashkey wouldn't have lived through that. But this time around, it wasn't to be. Now, a bit of a change-up coming up. Splashkey is going to be on the boost, and Reality just going to be shooting through the smoke. Is going to immediately pick off Benkai, not Splashkey.
Yeah, so already a good start to the round here for Signature. They've gotten control of mid, and on this T side, they've had a lot of success, but Splashkey still trying to hold into mid. Isn't really going to be able to get anything there. The smoke does come down, and yeah, I mean, that success from Signature on the T side, I think for both sides, really sort of leans it towards, I say, almost getting a 3-0 on the T side if you want to come away with a victory here in OT.
Oh, now Winter's in a big, big world of trouble because there's a lot of T's coming in his way and it doesn't have reinforcements. Has to drop the Incendiary Grenade. That's good. It's going to buy a little bit of time. Genius just needs to wait. Does not need to be peeking. He's got the information where Winter is and just going to put some suppressive fire, but this last Splash needs to come forward. He drops the Incendiary Grenade. It's a poor Incendiary Grenade. Now Splash here on the bomb side. Has to go huge. He gets 2. Can't get the 3rd. Rolex, good trade. Now 1 of 3 for impression to kind of get his way back in, but no utility. Nothing to work with. Has to get all the shots working in his favor. Probably undoable at this stage.
Yeah, you almost expected Splash Gear to hit that 3rd shot and just come away with another godlike round, like what we've seen him doing so far today, but not the case, and it leaves impression in a 1 versus 3. Not anything he can do there, so Rolex does get him. 16 up now for Signature, but it's just the first round of overtime, so let's not get too excited about that. B.O.O.T Dreamscape, I still think just 1 round here on the CT side is maybe enough.
The problem is they need more than 1. And the issue is at this stage is that they're losing this map control because Signature are doing really well to gain it. And then B.O.O.T Dreamscape just don't know how to play around it because it's like, maybe this is the first time they've lost map control to Signature and they don't understand how to counterplay it. Not to find out. Maybe Tommy fighting mid on the off angle. Just instantly taking out Cigarettes is the right idea.
Yeah, Benkai also on a bit of a cheeky angle, but Molly is going to be actually diffused by the smoke.
Is that a Molotov that's designed to counter that position? Because I've never seen that before. Normally you see Molotovs going to sandbags, but not into that like cheeky Z-corner.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I think it must be designed for that, to be honest. Anyway, impression does go down to reality, so brings it back
Tommy's going to just almost give up his position, and like when you're coming into overtime, you really got to be tightening up your play right now. You can't just be counting out lucky chickens that you're getting away in these scenarios. You've got to not like just sack your life effectively, and now they're just going to go back into the B bomb site because they can, and Winter's just in a terrible position once again. Like, where do you watch? Your mid's completely open, your B main's open, you have no grenades to work with but a single flashbang, and the T's, they're now making noise coming in, so Winter can play around this. Where's the rotations coming forward from? He's got to hold his fire, he's got to find more targets, but he's already made 1. Reality's watching the angle. How is Winter still dealing it out and surviving? Finally he's traded out, but he's going to spot out 2 here. Benkai on the fast flank, 2 locking down B main.
That's bought so much time for the rotation across. Great work from Winter. Very good job to get 2 even from the position that he was in. And Benkai comes around the back. He gets Reality, decides to hightail it out of there. And that should be the round here for B.O.O.T Dreamscape. Indeed it is. Benkai closes it out. But again, it's Winter that's really pulling B.O.O.T Dreamscape, kicking and screaming through some of these rounds. My goodness me, 16-16. And 1 more round here in the first half of overtime. It's every single round at this point, I have to say, is critical. You know, I feel like a broken record, but any difference in any round could be the win on the map or the win on the series for one of these 2 teams.
Yeah, and this is kind of like the point where they need to take this out. Splashkey losing the aim deal against Reality. Good stuff from Reality to win it. Now they need to just barrage this fast. Impression, he's got to be thinking about what to do. Just peeking into that angle makes me think it's like, man, if Reality held that, insta 3-on-5, and Signature would be in a good position and kind of close it out.
Yeah, but
how is B.O.O.T Dreamscape going to come back from this?
Yeah, it's a big question. It's a decent enough grenade. Rolex and Reality down relatively low. It's 1 shot now for the M4s if they get a headshot, so something to take hard in. But Benkai being a bit dangerous here. I think Cigarettes has spotted him out. Vice versa, he's also spotted Cigarettes out. The flashbang does come in, and Signature, it's quite evident, want to get some control into mid here, but have decided to fall off just a little bit. Rolex is still hanging around. Benkai might not be expecting that slow progression.
There's a smoke, but Benkai's thinking about it. He's going, maybe there's one underneath boost, and I need to be finding these angles, but now they're going to be swinging on him at the right time. No, he won't be checking the right corner at the right time. The flashbang is almost perfect for impression. Now Tommy's got a huge work to do. He's going to be spotted out from highway. All these players in A main. He can't get the spray down. Too many tangos to find. Now it's all down to Winter on this A bomb site. Cigarette, he's going to spot him out. He's going to go for the aim deal. He wants to win this round for his team right now, and he will be able to do so. That's a 2-1 half for Signature. And this is the difficult part now for Signature to kind of close out.
Just the timing not really there for B.O.O.T. You know, there was so many half-second swings away from an angle that B.O.O.T, you know, if they would have held the angle or something like that, it could have definitely gone their way. But Signature come away with it, 2-1, like you've said. I sort of said I thought 3, actually, on the T side was going to be not necessarily necessary, but quite useful, obviously.
I think Signature have this map in the bag at the moment. 2-1 to the T side. They've got their full functioning economy. Because we have to remember as well, when they're on their CT side, it was difficult to kind of get the guns up. Now Genius is hitting shots. You've got Reality as well, going to be locking down the bomb sites. B.O.O.T, Dreamscape. This is up to them to kind of make the move. And then in reality, in terms of towards the end of their T side, it wasn't that impressive. There were a lot of errors, a lot of good plays from Signature. It just feels like now Signature have stepped up their play tremendously, and B.O.O.T, Dreamscape have kind of just flopped around. They're not doing anything too particularly impressive.
Well, we haven't seen B.O.O.T on the T side for a little while now, so let's see what they've got for us. Maybe there's something still yet in their back pockets, and Reality taking a huge chunk of damage out of that grenade. That makes him very, very low, but still he's going to try and hold the line into mid. The flashbang does go up, and Benkai takes the duel. A little bit unlucky maybe not to actually get the kill there, to be honest. Reality down to 7 HP. But B.O.O.T, as of yet, have not gained any control of the map that they wouldn't otherwise have just had at the start of the round.
And I like this play from Signature as well. Getting Rolex into the boost, getting him into the vent position, boosting him up from checkers. And okay, he's going to be pushed off though. Good Molotovs all on the side, on the T side, to just make sure that all the CTs are uncomfortable. There is one deep in A main though. That's going to be Cigarettes. He's going to put a big dent. That's already Splashski taken down. Cigarettes is able to get out. No worries, no hassles. And where is B.O.O.T Dreamscape going to work from here? They've got no other map territory. They have no way into B bomb site, no way into the A bomb site. Only thing they have is mid, and it's just not good enough at this stage.
Yeah, they're not doing anything with it either. Benkai just watching the Z connector, but he needs to be progressing up highway here if they're going to go for A. And I mean, at least he can get into vent pretty quickly if they want to go for B, but
here's the thing, they can't because there's Orbs watching it. Yeah. You've got to be collapsing on this B bomb site right now, so it's up to Winter to kind of sell this A bomb site. It's not going to work though.
Yeah, look at the push already, out from Cigarettes into main. He's just getting so much information right now. Signature 100% know that this is going to be a B take, and so those two B players are going to be very, very prepared. 20 seconds left on the clock. This has to be perfect from B.O.O.T Dreamscape entering the site, and the flashes are good. Rolex able to get 2, in fact, and it's just a 1v1 on this B side, although actually the rotation has come across from Reality, so even if Impression can get this kill, there's not even time for him to plant the bomb. 18-16 up for Signature. They're 1 round away from pushing us through to a 3rd map.
Yeah, and they've deserved this victory as well. Like, they've just played better compared to B.O.O.T Dreamscape, and like, and these are the scenarios, right, where you've got to be looking as like B.O.O.T Dreamscape. Like, it goes back to the last series. Yeah, they were able to get that clutch out, but where's the clutch now? It's like when there's a systematic failure of closing this out, I don't know, due to what? Yeah, due to what, right? Because there's too many things to speculate on. It becomes like a problem, and it's going to go back into this B-site play where the CTs are lining up for a B-site aggression.
The B.O.O.T guys are over towards B as well, though, so Signature could be in a world of hurt. Also, too, B.O.O.T could be. Winter gets the first kill,
but
a pretty critical one.
Here. Like, no one's checked this corner again, and Genius is able to get away with 2 kills. No one's there to trade him out. Finally, Tommy decides to spray him down, and Cigarettes is just going to come out on top of heaven. Yeah. And he's going to spot the feet of a few. I don't know if the T's have spotted him just yet. There it is. That's 1 down. Splashy coming out, not getting the kill. And finally, look at that. Cigarettes gets 2. It's like, where's the trading?
Yeah, I don't know. Benkai just dancing around on heaven. Now he's got a big job to do. This is over. He's got his molly out. QQ gets him. No, it's actually Cigarettes, and map 3 is going to be coming up. Signature. What a comeback there on Keish. Boy, oh boy. B.O.O.T Dreamscape. Kevin, it's happening again. It is 100% happening again. B.O.O.T have had so many opportunities, so many rounds there, and somehow Signature still managed to come away with it. It's just that second map curse that seems to really be hurting B.O.O.T Dreamscape, and now I have to question, are we going to be seeing pretty much a repeat of what happened against Tyloo?
Yeah, maybe we'll see Signature close out the series. Who knows? We're going on to Cobblestone next, and like we saw previously, that, you know, they weren't crash hot on Cobblestone. Really, this map boiled down to 2 things, right? B.O.O.T Dreamscape had pretty much everything they wanted to ask for. 13-6, okay. You notice that the T side has the buy. You've got your own buy up or whatever. From there, you trade 2 rounds for 9 rounds, which is just not good enough at that stage. Doesn't matter if Genius is popping and killing your heads. They lost so much map control on their CT side. It's like they forgot how to play the CT side of catch. It's not easy, granted, but every single round it just looks like it's like, all right, Signature's going to get this map control again. What are B.O.O.T Dreamscape doing? They're doing nothing at all. And it was like so long ago, it's like we were praising their T side. Even at the end, it was like the T side was devoid of ideas, like we saw in the penultimate round. It was like, all right, we're going to see just this slow walkout. They're not even grouped together. It's a desperation play. It's not something well thought out.
Yeah, this is just, well, look, I mean, a 10-5 first half of B.O.O.T, and they got the pistol round as well. So they were 13-5. So look, to lose from that point, it's got to be really, really tough for them. But now this is where you need to sort of dig in deep and think, what are we going to do on map 3? You know, like Signature are starting to look really good. They're starting to come into their own, and B.O.O.T, it's looking tough for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was kind of helped by obviously Genius having like huge fragging rounds and whatnot, but at the same time, it's like they just lose so much map control. Like I look at how they played Case just then, and it's I have no words for it. It's like in rounds where they're playing aggressive, they shouldn't be playing aggressive. On rounds you shouldn't be playing defensive, you're playing defensive, and it's like you're doing nothing to counteract Signature. You've had all these rounds to react on the information that they're giving you, and you're doing nothing with it.
Splashkey was a highlight, I think, for B.O.O.T and Winter. Splashkey and Winter definitely had their moments, but realistically, it just was too few and too far between where there was just too much of an onus placed on the individual plays of B.O.O.T. They weren't putting themselves in positions where, I mean, as a team, they were going to win.
We can compare it to the Signature CT side of Mirage, where we saw like a systematic failure of Signature when on Mirage, they couldn't really frag it on the CT side. Now, it was the same problem for B.O.O.T Dreamscape, but that infiltrated onto their T side. This is a summary of the round, right? It's like, Cigarette's able to get a spray down here. He's able to get out alive and still kill 2 more beyond that point. And at what stage is like a guy that's sitting all the way open in heaven is able to get 2 kills like that and no one's able to trade him out. Like, you got to be looking at it and going, where's the trading game, guys? Where's the aim gone? Where's the confidence? You can't play Counter-Strike like this so scared. Like, sometimes you just got to make the big rig plays and just go out there and just blast heads off. Like, that's ultimately it. And we just didn't see any of that from B.O.O.T Dreamscape. They were just playing so scared, so passive. And, like, for a team that needs to be, like, they get the passiveness incorrect. But they play passive when they should be aggressive, and they play aggressive when they should be passive. And it's just disheartening to see.
It's kind of hard to kind of get that all sort of working when,
of course,
you've just lost, what, like 13-8 to ending up being 15-15 into overtime. Your whole mojo's kind of off. You're not feeling confident. How can you take those confidence battles when things have just not been working for such a long time for you? For the last 30 minutes, you've really been under the pump. And so, I mean, I can kind of forgive B.O.O.T in a way for that, but absolutely they've had those opportunities. They haven't taken hold of them. And again, we're staring down the barrel of maybe B.O.O.T ending up losing this series. But look, map 3 is coming up, and that's Signature's best chance, I guess.
Yeah, so map 3 coming up, which is going to be Cobblestone. Signature as well as B.O.O.T Dreamscape tied 1 apiece. Who's going to take the series? We'll have to find out just after a bit.